We're going to start up our program now. We are gathered here today to celebrate, recognize, and honor Juneteenth as a holiday. This year, 2020, marks the 155th anniversary of the news of Abraham Lincoln's 1863 Emancipation Proclamation abolishing slavery reaching residents in Texas. It took 2 years for the official news of the emancipation to reach all residents, specifically enslaved African Americans in all U.S. states and territories. That delay of information federally outlawing slavery prolonged white captivity for all African Americans. Today, June 19th, also known as Juneteenth, 155 years ago, all African Americans were released from human bondage in the U.S. and were able to gather lawfully as a liberated community that could seek education, achievement, and justice outside of white control. Thank you.
But as history has made clear, freedom from slavery didn't mean freedom from white supremacy. Local and state laws, policing practices, and lynching restricted the absolute equality promised by the General Order. Thus, the holiday has come to represent as a promise unfulfilled. And each Juneteenth is a time to both reflect on what needs to be bolstered and the hope that full equality and freedom can yet be achieved.
Good evening, everybody. Right now, we're about to have a special performance from Miss Freeman. Ro is a Massachusetts-born Berklee College of Music alum, multi-instrumentalist, singer, songwriter, and she resides right here in Montpelier, Vermont. She has toured with Charles Neville, the Brooklyn Symphony Orchestra, and performed at venues including the New Orleans Jazz Festival, Carnegie Hall, and more. Tonight she'll be performing Lift Every Voice and Sing. This song was originally a poem written in 1900s by James Weldon Johnson, who was a lawyer, civil rights activist, and school principal. His brother would later put it to music, and that's when it quickly gained popularity. In 1919, the NAACP adopted it as the Negro National Anthem. They did this for its power in voicing a cry for liberation and affirmation for African American people. President Obama has sung the song many times throughout his presidency. It was also performed during his inauguration. It holds true, especially today, as it signifies our focus on staying hopeful, fighting injustice, and knowledge of the struggle our ancestors have endured and what we endure today. So without further delay, we present Ro Freeman.
Thank you and welcome. It's so nice to see so many people. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song, oh, of the hope that the present has brought us. Sing a full song of love, son of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. So next up is Opeyemi Pam, and she recently moved to central Vermont, and she's a retired physician, and she is a storyteller. Next. Oh, here she is.
Hello, everyone. I come to you the way Juneteenth respects elders. As a 63-year-old, I am the oldest living member of my family on the Parham side. I am Opeyemi, daughter of Alfredine, who is daughter of Emmy, who is daughter of Julie Alexander, who is daughter of Savannah Curry, who was born an enslaved person. I am Opeyemi, mother of Annalise, my daughter, and Jade, my second born. My daughter has my grandchildren, Margaret and Theodore, and they represent 7 generations away from enslaved peoples. My grandchildren on the planet right now are 7 generations away from slavery. That's who we are here in the United States of America. I'm going to tell you a story about my mother's sister. Dorothy Louise Parham Wilson lived to the age of 92. She died 2 years ago. When she died, I became the matriarch. We are all imagining if all of our mothers lived 10 years longer, because there is a gap for women of color on our life expectancy. So what, 10 more years of someone who was a wise person to you? What does that feel like? Dorothy was a tomboy. When she was a little girl, she used to follow her big sisters around. There were 4 of them. She was the third. My mother was the baby. Dorothy was a tomboy. At 15, her father set her down and said to her, "Dorothy, it's not okay for you to play tackle football anymore. The boys are tackling you for the wrong reasons." Dorothy was very, very bright, and therefore she wanted to continue a family tradition. We had land in my family. My family had land in Union Point, Georgia, and she wanted to go home and be a farmer because she was a tomboy kind of a person. My family was very bougie. I don't know if you all know that word, but it means it was about where you went to school. So when she went with a friend down to Chicago to hold her hand and take the scholarship test that Coca-Cola had in the 1940s, she accidentally won the scholarship to the Mecca, Howard University. Howard does not have agriculture and mechanical. Go look all this up. W.E.B. Du Bois on one side, talented 10th. Booker T. Washington, practical life skills on the other side. We need them both. She got caught up, majored in botany, that's the closest she could get, never got to be the farmer she wanted to be. But because she had a white passing code switching voice from the way she was raised, she became a switchboard operator. A switchboard operator at Ma Bell. Went up the ladder at Ma Bell. That's AT&T, guys. She was the first black manager in California at AT&T, and she had stock in the company. So when my 92-year-old aunt died, black people in my family had wealth, like white people do. I didn't even know what that was. It means you didn't have to earn that money. It means it was gifted to you by somebody else who worked for it. And that gift was split between 10 people. And that money, some of it that I have, is going towards land for people of color here and for sustainable farming here. So I want to say to everybody in my little time that aunt of mine, that amazing woman, I am honoring her by speaking her name aloud under Ceres, the queen of grain at the state capitol in Vermont. She is happy as an ancestor looking down on me, guiding us, inspiring us. Ancestors live inside us, daring us to dream the future, pulling us. I hear them calling, no place we cannot go. And no love too deep to feel. And no hope too high for heaven. And no dreams we dare not dream. Ashe.
Next up is JoJo Michelson. She's an upcoming sophomore at Montpelier High School, and she'll be singing Feeling Good.
It's just the Wi-Fi. It's okay. Yeah.
Birds flying high.
Okay.
You know how I feel. Sun in the sky. You know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by. You know how I feel. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Dragging out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is done, that's what I mean. And this whole world is a new world, and a bold world for me. Oh, for me. mine. You know how I feel. Oh, freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. So good. I feel so good. Thank you.
Next up is Rodney Eddins, and he's a spoken word poet.
Happy Juneteenth. Come on, make some noise. That's right. Freedom time. We're gonna make it real. I wanna share a piece with you right now. It's called Why We Still Need Black History Month, but I think it's just as relevant to Juneteenth and honoring and respecting the history and the legacy of African descendants. So rub your hands together like this. When it gets warm, send me some energy. You shoot it my way. All right, I'm gonna give it back. Why we still need Black History Month. Don't be so fearful of being racist that it deludes your common sense, or so fearful of racism existing, you become a hypocrite. I wrote this on the off chance there would be some Black people who love themselves enough to listen in the audience, or some white people who know Black folk exist in more than convenient moments, or just some human folk who love truth and have enough sense to care about their roots. The librarian asks me, why do you think we still need Black History Month? For the same reason that Texas calls slavery unpaid internship. Because the evil of ignorance and racism must be vigilantly opposed with truth, love, and sincere inclusion. Because it was once Negro History Week, and for the children who daily see themselves through the lens of stereotypes, and those who only know television as relationship to Black people and people of color. For my daughters who are growing and will not be choked out by the diminishing of our value. For the legacy of our people that makes American ideals a sought-for reality rather than a cliche banality. For you, for your spirit and your conscience, so it doesn't putrefy in the delusion of denial and fear-made religion. Because Black people must not become history. Our story is a part of your story. The beauty, wonder, triumphs, and trials need to be known. Sung from the hilltops and mountain peaks, resounding in the valleys and grass plains, echoing down the alleyways and boulevards. Because black, red, brown, yellow are the colors of my true love's hair and the universe. Because beauty and truth will not be contained. Because these are our ancestors. We owe them a debt of gratitude. Because love will not be silenced. Because teaching white supremacy is poison. We are all still recovering, conditioned to tolerate it in small doses. The human family must heal. Soon this sickness will be vomited, and all that will remain will be you. Beautiful, healthy, free-minded you. Think of it as your chance to celebrate the human family in preparation for making every day our celebration. Thank you.